And another episode of New Show as you watch Jake the Snake get warmed up. We're gonna talk about the workout.
It's New Show, it's New Show. Why is it called New Show? Nobody knows. It's New Show.
This workout is from September 28 in our online training program, The Design. 10 rounds for time, 250 meters ski erg, 200 for the females, 10 burpees to plate. The way we have the plate set up is that it's 8 feet exactly away from the back, the mounted part of the ski erg. If you don't have a mount, then it'll be 10 feet back from it. So when you watch them do the workout, you'll notice they'll get off the ski erg, they'll turn around, and they'll have to walk a little bit to their plate. That way it is standardized. This workout is relatively straightforward in that you're gonna pick some sort of a pace that you're gonna try to maintain on your ski. And if you think of it as 10 rounds of 250, that's 2,500 meters, or it's 2,000 meters for females. So somewhere around your 2K pace would be what you would try to maintain in this format, maybe a second or two slower per 500. And then the burpees, it's 100 of them, but they're split up. So you're just basically trying to hold as fast of a sustainable pace as you can on those burpees to get back and hold your pace. This one's gonna be interesting to watch because it's gonna give us a lot of indication on people's ability to pace cyclical and open style movements in a time frame that's about 15 minutes. And now here is Travis Mayer, the Wad Slayer, also known as the Pasty Warrior, doing some ski erg. They're in their warm up. I'm probably not gonna ask them for too much context. They're professional athletes. They're gonna go fast and try to go as fast as possible. And I'll commentate as they go. We're back. All right, Cena is going to keep track of their rounds and reset the monitor. And I am gonna keep track of paces, but right before they start, I'm gonna ask them what their paces are so I can hold them accountable. Travis, with my professional mic system, I want you to get real close and tell me your paces.
My pace is gonna be roughly
No, exact pace so I can hold you accountable.
159. 47 to 49.
Okay. 47 is as slow as I'm gonna let you go without yelling in your ear to distract you. Jake the Snake, what pace are you gonna ski erg?
150.
You got that?
That's realistic.
Hold on, give me that pace one more time.
150.
What's your body weight right now?
190.
You're not 215. Get out of here. Jake is looking kind of beefy though. All right, everybody. We're off to watch some ski erg and some burpees. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! Okay. Yeah. All you have to do is touch your feet on it. Just touch your feet on it. Oh yeah. Yeah. You can start on it. Just no hands on.
250, 10 rounds. You've seen us in charge of everything. You don't have to do charge, you just survive.
All right, I'm gonna check one more time that my microphone is on. Like somebody with OCD. All right. Ten seconds. All right, everybody. This is the first new show with professional athletes, Travis and Jake, getting after it. Travis is getting ready for Rogue right now. So in a typical training setting, so Trav's in pre-competition mode right now. And Jake had finished his semifinals, and he's kind of more in off-season and strength building. We joked about him being heavier. He's at 190. He competed at 180. He's trying to get stronger so he can kind of excel with the barbell a little bit more. So his general fitness right now might not be as high as Trav, because Travis is getting into competition. And for context, I think if this were an actual competition workout and they were both like ready for competitions, Jake would have a little bit more of an advantage on the burpees, and he'd probably be trying to take 2 or 3 seconds per set off of Travis, and Travis would have a little bit of advantage on the ski erg. And right now that's reflected in pace. So Trav right now, he's at a 146, 145. I'm glad it's faster than what he said. Jake's right on 150. So Trav got off in 54 seconds and Jake got off in 57. So for competitive sake, they would probably be giving away a little bit of time, or Jake would be giving a little bit of time on the ski and trying to take it down on the burpees. But right now, Trav's burpee pace is fast. I don't know if he's just in competition mode. He knows the camera's on, so he's trying to show everybody what he's got, or he's just fit, who knows. All right, 120 to finish round 1 for Trav. Jake, 127. So it'll be interesting to see if Trav can hold that pace. He was 55 seconds to finish the ski erg, I think, and then he finished at 120, so that means it took about 25 seconds to do the burpees. That's an above 20 burpee per minute pace. It's like 22, 23 burpees per minute. That's really the type of pace that elite level athletes in the sport maintain. And this, if it's a minute 20, that means this workout's gonna be a little bit under 15 minutes, like somewhere between 13 and 15 minutes, depending on how much they can sustain that. 10 seconds times 10 rounds is 100 seconds off 15 minutes. So yeah, just over 13 if Travis would be able to maintain that pace. 53, 54 seconds, so same pace there for Travis. He kept his pace. Burpee cadence is good. He's doing the hop, no stepping. Speed still looks really good. Speed off the floor, speed down. Jake's using the step technique, so he's stepping back or stepping forward and kind of hopping back. It looks like now they're kind of synced up, so it looks like their burpee speed is pretty close right now. Jake seems to be faster up off the ground, and Travis is a little bit faster to get compressed and get down to the ground than Jake. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there because I was looking at the time for Travis to finish. So he's 2:45, Jake's at 3 minutes. So Travis was 120 in the first round and 125 in the second round, but that second round includes transition. So I'd say he's right on pace. Jake was 130, 127, and then 3 minutes. So he's 3 seconds off his pace, but he's right at a 150, which is what he said he wanted to do. Travis is right at a 145, which is a little faster than what he said. Hopefully that means that he can stand that discomfort and hold it the entire time. It looks like he's still moving pretty smooth. He's coming up on the 50-second mark for this skier specifically, so he should finish. Yep, just finished there. That was a little bit of a sloppy ending there where he had 2 or 3 of those little pulls. That can actually, for normal people like me, it might not really make a difference if my workout's a half a second slower on every round. However, if he had somebody next to him like Brent Fikowski or Patrick Vellner who might be at Rogue, that little detail, which looked kind of minor, could actually impact his overall placing on a workout by 1 or 2 points, which for people that are trying to get paid as athletes could be thousands of points. So these are little details that I hold Travis to as a standard that I might not hold, an average person watching this is not gonna worry about that detail. They're just gonna worry about maintaining fitness. You caught that I fucked it up and I lost count of what this round time was. That's all right. I'll compare it to round 4, I'll catch back up. I just got lost in thought. All right, so Jake's at, I'll still get Jake's. Jake finished at the 4:30. So actually, Jake is pretty tightly onto his pace. He was 127, 130, 130 for his 3 rounds. So he's losing a little bit of time on the ski, something you can't see here. So it took him 9 seconds to get to a 150 pace. That is not a fast enough acceleration. And when you're going over the course of, say your interval's a minute and you take 9 seconds to get at pace, that means that 1/6 of the time you're pulling on the machine, you're not pulling at your pace, and it actually pulls your average pace down. Travis there was about 55 seconds to finish. So he held a little bit of a slower pace there. He was at like 147 when I looked at it when he was jumping off, and he lost about 2 seconds on that ski erg, but the burpee pace still looks really good here. He's looking fit. Still hopping back, hopping up. Transitions are still really fast. So this will be interesting to see if he can maintain that pace. Transition's good. Let's see how long it takes Trav to get up to pace. So we talked about Jake being 9 seconds on that. Travis was 15 seconds to get under 150, but he was at like the 152. I thought he was gonna go a little bit faster, so I didn't tell you when he got up to pace, but he was right around that 9 second as well. So it might just be the structure of this workout. I lost track of time here. Kyle came over here.
I was gonna say,
I got Jake's times really well.
Watch Jake and Travis's burpees. Travis keeps his chin over top of the plate, so his center of mass stays closer to the plate, so his jump is shorter. And Jake's chin is behind the plate. His almost head is entirely behind the plate, so his range of motion is a little bit longer. Just something I noticed.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Hopefully you guys heard that. I'll point it out as you go there. Again, another little detail that separates. So when you watch Travis do this, his chest will hit the ground and his chin stays right over the center of that plate, which means he's basically traveling, if he's 5'11", he's cutting off like 6 inches of total distance that his feet have to cover by staying covered over top of the plate there. And he was saying that Jake's head was behind the plate, so his head would be behind the bottom portion of the plate, or the plate that would be closer, the side of the plate that would be closer to the ski erg. All right, Travis finishing at 7:07 there. Now I have that time, so at least I can have it as a reference point. So there you see right there, Jake's head is behind the plate, so he's actually traveling farther distance per rep. He's going a little bit slower and traveling a little bit farther. So that'll be a detail if he watches this video he could pick up, or Kyle will point out. Something I didn't even notice as I was talking. So it's one of the benefits to having other coaches around. They kind of give you a little bit of perspective and see things a little bit differently. And some people are more technical, and luckily Kyle's a pretty good athlete himself, so he pays attention to those details. 7:43 there for Jake. So that round was 1:32 to finish. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Cena with the, what's that called? Like a round girl? Yeah, round girl. Cena being the round girl here. All right, so Jake there was 1:30 on that round, but he was a little bit slower the previous round. So he fell off pace for round 4 and then picked it back up for round 5. So he's not holding as linear paces. Travis finished that last round at 7:07. I'll pay attention to this round. If he had finished right now, that's how fast his first round was. And if he finished right now, that's how fast his second round was. Then I lost track for a little bit. But now I'll be able to get back on pace and tell you how long this is taking. So that was 8:42. So that was a 1:34 round. So that's a little bit slower, by actually 14 seconds slower. And in a workout, rounds are 1:20. That means he fell off pace pretty good. So let's see where he's lost it. Right now, he's at a 1:56 pace. So there's probably 5 or 6 seconds that's embedded into his ski erg. Then there's probably a little bit of that's just in the burpee pace that he's losing. And then there's a little bit that's probably lost in the transitions. So perhaps after doing this, his 1:47 to 1:49 pace was actually a better strategy. Although Travis, and sometimes elite athletes in general, they almost do better. So he's at a 1:53, 1:52 now. Sometimes they just actually do better going out a little bit hot and not maintaining pace as much. When you get to like, Travis is one of the best. So he's been to the CrossFit Games 7 times. But there's another level of somebody like Matt Frazier who's won the CrossFit Games 5 times. It would be those little details that separate at the highest level. They're things we're always trying to work on, trying to figure out what's the best way to get into race mindset. And he's still 6 weeks out from his next competition. You guys will get this September 28th, but right now it's a little middle of September. So we're filming and giving you some context ahead of time. So, you know, he's not ready to compete right now, but he's getting into the process of being ready. 10:19 there. So that round is 137. So he was 134, 137 on those last 2 rounds. So again, he's fallen off pace. You know, it plays into, you know, psychology right now plays a role. So I don't know, like, is being ahead of Jake allow him to take some foot off the gas? Is he redlined? You know, it's super humid right now. Is he like at max fatigue? Did he redline in the workout? All those things are kind of questions that would go through my head that I'd, you know, ask him about later. You know, when we kind of go through every workout and say like, what went well in that? What didn't go well? What could be improved for the next time? And that kind of governs training. And it also governs how he thinks about each workout and processes it so that way he could stay present on each training session. As athletes, they kind of have the short-term mindset of excellence at every single workout. But as a coach, we got to have also a long-term perspective of saying like, okay, well, we got to make sure that all of this work is actually giving them the training stress to set them up for all the skills in the sport. So we work together as a team to try to figure that out. There's always back and forth. You're always dealing with motivation, the psychology of training, competing, fixing movements, aches and pains, niggles. So it really is a very dynamic process. It's not like you can give a one-size-fits-all answer. All right, Travis, finishing up there, 11:48. So that round actually sped up. He was just under 130 for that round, but the transition there was a little bit slower. Acceleration here on the rower, you guys can't see it, but he's at 218, 210, and he's still 10 seconds in, and he's still above 2 minutes. So he's losing time here on the acceleration. Jake's a little bit farther behind. Burpee speed and cadence looks pretty rhythmic. So I think he's still on a relatively good pace. He finished the last round at 11 minutes. I'll see where he finishes now. He's coming up on the end of round 8. So he has 2 rounds left. Travis is in round 9. So he's in the middle of ski of 9. He'll have burpees, ski, and then burpees to finish up. And once Jake finishes up these burpees, he'll have 2 rounds left, 12:39. So that set right there was 1:39. It's not that far off from his initial pace. So relative to just general fitness of them independently, Jake may have paced this a little bit more appropriately relative to his fitness level, but his fitness level right now is just a little bit lower than Travis because his fall off is less of a percentage. That could be an indication that he started at, you know, just a better pace for him, and Travis started at a little bit more of an aggressive pace. But, you know, these things happen. Competition can pull you out into a fast pace. Travis hasn't really had an opportunity to train alongside somebody really fit at this level since, Jake is pulling hard there. So he's maintaining his 150 pace that he said he was going to. 13:30 there for Travis. That means that his round was a minute 42, so slower there on that round. He's fallen off pace pretty good on the skier. Jake is maintaining pace a little bit better, like I had mentioned. I lost my train of thought. I was in a thought about Jake before, but you know, that's what happens when you're commentating live. You just lose the thought and get back to it. Travis here. Last ski, Trav, come on, push. He's finishing pretty hard. He's at a 147 pace, 145, 144. So he had some in the tank. Fell off pace a little bit. I'd say if I were gonna say what could you do better, it would be whatever, you know, whether it was fitness, focus, holding himself to a higher standard. I'd say rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9. He kind of broke down a little bit, fell off his pace. He's got to be able over the course of the next 6 weeks to not allow that to happen. But it did here, and we'll learn from it. We'll keep getting better, and it's still a pretty damn good performance. He's pushing real hard right now. Good sprint finish. These burpees actually look as fast or faster than his first round, and he's going to be finishing up very shortly under the 15-minute mark. He's at 14:49:50, 14:55 to finish. That last round was 1:25, so that was pretty close to his initial pace. Jake here is now slamming the rower. He's at He's basically the same thing, 147 right now, pushing the pace really good, having a sprint finish. I don't know if you have Travis over there curling up in the corner in front of the fan, trying to recover. Let's go, Jake, come on. There's a little bit of an awkward step footwork off of that step there where he kind of steps back twice before falling. I think you could probably figure out how to just bound right from the top back into his burpee and not have to worry about the plate. I think that would keep him closer. Oh, 15:41. All right, they finished up. That was a tough workout. This is the nasty one. Pretty nasty one for Jake too if he's 10 pounds heavier and has not been doing as much conditioning. Trav's a little bit more prepared for breathing over there. I think that was pretty good execution. This is all the data that I could get. It wasn't everything. We're human. We're trying to do this live and talking right at the same time. I'm gonna ask Travis what he thinks he did well in the workout. What'd you do well, Travis?
For the first 5 rounds, I kept my pace. Then my pace started to drop just based off my pull. But then I feel like I did a good job keeping the burpee speed almost the same every single time. And for me, like, I knew if I started stepping, I would slow down a lot. So just try to rebound every one and do the best I could.
How would you rank that execution?
I mean, I feel like I did really well on that.
Out of 10?
9.
All right. I agree with that. Really good, really solid. I think we had pretty much the same points. Burpee stayed good. He lost pace in round 6, 7, 8, maybe 9. Lost a little bit of time. Jake, can you talk? You want to do it again? I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you. 230. What do you think you did well in that?
What I did wrong?
Well,
I held my pace. I think I said 150, right? I was right around there. I couldn't get to stay, so it would be like 150, 151, 149. But I think averaged out to 150. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Burpees, I don't know, dude, like trying to jump up, you use so much core, which I feel like I wanted to save on the ski. So I was stepping up. I don't know if that's where I lost it. I think, what was he holding, like 2 seconds faster?
He started at like 147, but then at the end he was slower than you. For round 6, 7, 8, 9, he was slower, but I think he just made up more time on the burpees.
Yeah. Usually burpees is where I, make my money. So it's kind of odd that I lost time there, but I'm really heavy right now.
How many Metcons a week are you doing right now?
I've been doing like 1 a day. Like we just started back doing like 1 a day. I really wasn't taking training seriously for like the 2 months after semifinals. So I'm finally feeling like I'm like getting it back, but this showed me that I got work to do. But yeah, good workout.
Good. Thank you for doing it.
I fucking love this little mic.
Yeah. Very professional. That's how we do things here.
It's new show, it's new show. Why is it called new show? Nobody knows, it's new show.